Hello, everybody. Oh, welcome to my channel. I hope you've all been happy, healthy, and well, guys. This is what I want to hear, and I'm sending you all so much love. Um, Now, those of you, I'm sure, who are watching know that today is a very special day. It is 2/22/22. Okay, this is one of those dates, okay, where there's all repeating numbers, and this is the last time in this century that we will have this date. It's a very spiritually significant date, and I felt guided to do a reading for everybody, about this, maybe things to keep in mind, things that will be relevant, in the days to come. But more, I feel it's kind of like an energy of around this time, things to consider, things to ask for, or even I just feel like I just want to go, and it feels like more something, to keep in mind going forward. Now let's get started here. Now, I did throw and meditate on some cards before I started the video, and what we're starting off with are two very interesting cards. The Goddess of Nature. And what this speaks about now is what it says: you reap what you sow. Your dream is coming to fruition. Now, this is a very interesting energy. Why? Is because of what is next to it. The goddess of the sacred path. Let go of logic and trust your intuition. I feel, in a way, now I am more the type that speaks of balance. That is my message. That is really my life, is balance. Intuition is a very important thing. We can get a lot of information from our intuition. This is really like what connects us to each other is what? Our energies, okay? Sometimes, in other words, like what you see, okay? Logically, what you see, like with your two eyes, right? Like these things, that you can touch, feel, right? That's only half the picture. The other half can only be seen or felt through your third eye, or even just your energy, your intuition. But you have to be perceptive and receptive to it. So for those of you, who are feeling like, you want to, I don't know if I want to say like, yeah, expand your intuition, now would be the time, or like a perfect time to strengthen it, or, begin to trust in it more. Now, what I want to add to this is the fine balance, like between logic and intuition. If you're pure, now with intuition, let's say you're pure intuition, okay? Now with intuition, right, you will be guided, and you will, also, let's say, get information, okay? You'll receive information, right, from energy, from people, this and that, you'll be able to feel certain things without people having to tell you. You'll just feel it, know it inside. Now, the real place to be, though, is when your logic and your intuition work in tandem, okay? So, like, in other words, someone who's pure intuition, okay, pure, only focuses on intuition, will be, in my opinion, sometimes a little out of control or out of balance. It's the same that goes for, let's say, someone who's pure logic. Yes, there's a strength in it, but it is nothing compared to someone, let's say, who is actively using their logic and intuition in tandem. So what I feel here is like, not necessarily let go of logic. In other words, but in order for us to be intuitive, you do need to let go of logic. But it's more like when you receive that information. Now, let's say you get a ton of information, right? But you don't have the logic in order to use it properly. Then what good is it? It's the same as like if you're all, let's say logic, right? But you don't have the intuition in order to, maybe know, okay, well, logically that works, but it doesn't feel right. Your intuition can answer things that logic cannot. The same as like logic can even answer some things that intuition sometimes cannot. They both work in tandem. And I think knowing that and understanding like when you need to be purely intuitive, when you need to be like purely logical, makes a lot of sense. And I feel like it's something to think about or strive for. In other words, it's like, I feel now is the time for intuition, yes, to really open that up. And but with that though comes a balance in logic as well. So like never forget that. I feel like it's an energy of like, how do I say this? Strengthen your intuition. Yes, 100%. Learn to trust it, learn to use it, learn to really be one with the energies that connect us all. But I also feel like use your logic in combined with your intuition. Especially with what's next to it, this you reap what you sow. Your dreams are coming to fruition. Now let me get some tarot. Let me see here. Dear angels, dear God, dear universe, anything to say about this 222? 22. How interesting. The Seven of Swords just came reversed. This is an energy where I feel, truths will be revealed. If anything, I feel like make a debt. Look at that. I just saw 713 on the timer. That's my number for congratulations. Angel number 317713. I feel like it's an energy of like pray or ask to have proper discernment in all your dealings going forward, to be able to see clearly, feel clearly, and really trust in what you see and also what you feel, and be able to use these things in unison, in tandem, almost like a synergy. I also feel like now's the time, in other words, to ask for clarity, to be able to see, to feel, so that you may go forward truthfully. But also so that you won't be deceived by those around you, or those around, those around us, so that we can see clearly. This is also like an energy of seeing clearly, so that you can, yes, live your life in a better way, make good decisions for yourself, all that good stuff, so that you can support yourself, live true. But I also see it as a way, like of helping others, let's say you come across people, who are suffering, see the truth in that, but how best to help them. Some people you need to leave be, others you can help. I also feel an energy like of, like not being deceived, not being fooled by others. I also feel an energy coming through of like you getting closer, or like asked to be closer, like to your soul tribe. Those who vibrate on your level. Those who challenge you to, want to say like reach your highest potential, but who also accept where you're at right now, but still push you to grow. In other words, like I want to say it like this, like you like-minded individuals, yes, we do need people like that in our lives. But if we're around, mirror images of ourselves, how do we grow? We need people as well, who challenge us to see past our own illusions. So listen, we are all human, right? We lose our way sometimes, or we may slip up. We need people who are not afraid to speak the truth to us, right? We all sometimes succumb to certain things. We all go through different things. We need people who are not afraid to speak the truth to us. Sometimes things we may not like, okay? But just because we don't like what somebody says doesn't mean they need to be out of our lives. Or, well, that hurts me. Oh, you don't get at it. Sometimes, again, not all times, but we need people who really speak the truth to us and keep it real. Keep us in balance, but just as we do to them, but not in a malicious, like a harmful way. Ten of Swords. See, this is like an energy like of sometimes the truth hurts, right? Sometimes, but the truth is always going to be the truth, no matter how much it hurts. It doesn't change the fact that it's the truth. I feel it more as like not being afraid of truth that would like shatter your illusions or shatter all of our illusions. Embrace truth. I think now is a good time like to ask for strength in order to handle truth in all its forms. Sometimes, again, truths are pleasant, but sometimes the truth stings. But it doesn't change the fact that it's the truth. Look at that, the Four of Pentacles. Now this guy, this Four of Pentacles, is a very, in this case, I like the way this feels. He seems like he's smiling. It feels like he's accepting this, but like holding onto it. What it feels like is, now's the time to ask for the strength, like to be able to handle the truth in all its forms and accept it gracefully. Like even if it's something that hurts or challenges us or challenges you, be grateful for it. Maybe that, I want to say like maybe that somebody or something, someone had the balls to say it that nobody else would. That's what you want. I also feel like an energy of like criticism. The way this Three of Pentacles is coming out, it's kind of like, when maybe like your teacher or like a teacher or a master, right? When you're trying to learn something, right? Tells you to go home and like improve yourself, right? No, that's not up to par. You need to do something different, like practice more, step it up. It's more like an energy of, yeah, take that to heart so that you better yourself. Not take it as like an attack, an assault, or, like some taking it personally. It's kind of like, let's say you go to school and you fail a test or something, or okay, or the work you hand in, it stinks. Okay, if it stinks, it stinks. Let's say like if you fail a test, you failed the test. So go home, work on it, and take it again. But like be able to handle, let's say, the criticism that that's not up to par. You got to work on it. I would say ask, if anything, like ask for the ability, or now would be like a perfect time for that, or like going forward, handling just truths that may be uncomfortable. That's how you grow. There's the Queen of Wands. Queen of Cups. See, this is a beautiful energy. The one is balanced by the other. You see, this is like an energy of someone not afraid to just say it like it is. But it's less of an attack, more of a just, it's the truth. But it's more done in a loving way so that you do better. These are the types of people I feel that you want around you going for, that keep you in check, but also you to keep others in check. Like, don't be afraid to do that. Again, now this doesn't mean you're just going to go around, being, nasty and, I don't know, like, rude. But, like, when it's needed, it's needed. There's the victory. Because, see, it leads you and it leads others to their highest potential. I just got an analogy. Now, let's say, let's say you're going over to your friend's house, okay? And maybe they're not the best cook in the world. But they invite you over, right? And then, you start to, you taste the food and it's like, oh shit, this doesn't taste good. This is nasty, right? But now, if they ask you, well, oh, how was it? You'd say, oh, it's good, right? You're going to, like be polite, right? And you're not going to, you don't want to hurt their feelings, but, it's more like you can be genuine with them, like, but there's a time to be polite and there's a time to be, but you're not going to say that to somebody, like in a vicious way. Like, let's say it tastes nasty, but you would just be like, oh, it's not bad. It's all right. Yeah, good job. Right? But now, it's more like when it's needed, the truth. Now, let's say now they're going to, I don't know, like, they want to be a chef now, right? Or they want to go to cooking school, or this, that, and the other thing, or like they're going to enter a contest. Okay. And then, okay, how does this taste? Okay, well, that's when you need to unleash and be like, no. This doesn't taste good. You can get a little more, true, let's say. I feel like this is more like knowing when to, say it and to what level. There's something coming out here, though, about, like, being able to take criticism, but, like, not like it's some personal attack. And, like, even again, like, let's say you go to someone's house, I don't know, like a barbecue or, like, or be a Christmas dinner, this dinner, that dinner, right? And you try someone's food and it's disgusting, right? I mean, I've had that happen before. I remember one time I was just like, what happened here? Like, did you burn this or did you burn it? And, like, we laughed about it, but it's nothing personal. It's more funny. Like, yeah, it's good, but what did you do? Like, did you go heavy on the spot? Or, like, what did you do? And then now, like, having heard the criticism, like, needless to say, the cooking has improved. Big time. But I feel it's more like about the way you say it, how you say it, but we also need to be able to handle criticism. But make sure it's done, in a kind of loving way, but not with the intent to hurt. See, I think your intuition too will tell you, when you need to be blunt and when not to be. There's a time and a place. Like you're not going to sit in front of like a million people, and like embarrass. There's a time and a place. Let me see. Wow, I just saw, I looked up before 2022. Let me see any other energies that want to come out. It's for the 2022. Please, dear angels, 2022, 22222. Five of Wands. The Wheel. This is a big energy, I feel like, of, nowadays, right? Like with like manifestation. Okay. And, like manifesting what it is that you want or going after what it is that you want. I feel many things with the Five of Wands and the Wheel is a very potent combination. It's a message of, well, in order to, let's say, get what you want in life, right, or out of life, you need to fight for it sometimes, right? But sometimes you don't. Sometimes things are handed to you on a silver platter. Sometimes you just meet the right person. Sometimes you just get that job. Sometimes things just always work out. Now, other times, right, things may be a little far-fetched. Maybe it's some, especially with the Knight of Cups here. Now, this can be like maybe something that you want, a way you want to live, where you want to live, a guy or a girl that you'd love to be with, etc., right? In other words, what your heart desires. I feel like the Temperance card is here for a reason, especially next to all this. It's knowing like when to fight for what you want, but when not to. There are some things, right? And I feel like ultimately, right, in life, there are things that you do need to fight for if you want it. But there are some things in life that no matter how hard you fight for it, right, it's not going to be yours, right? Or like some things, it's kind of like maybe you're getting guidance to stop fighting for it because it's not yours. It's not meant to be. Like if everybody in this world got what they wanted, like, and got the, let's say in matters of the heart, right? Like the guy or the girl that they wanted, right? I don't think that is physically possible. Like, okay, let's say there is a girl, right, or whatever, and 7 different men wanted that particular girl or wanted to be in a relationship with that girl. How does that work? Or or wants to be married, right? Or like in a monogamous relationship, it's not possible. Same with a guy. If there's like 10 different girls who want to be married to this guy in a monogamous connection it's not possible. Some things are meant to be. Other things, maybe not this lifetime. It's more like you gotta have, I feel, the wisdom to know what to fight for and what is just not, it's not the time. Not this time. Or like, that's a little, some things also I feel like are worth the fight. Other things aren't. And I feel like it's your intuition that'll tell you that. But also like hard times that'll tell you that. But I do feel like when it comes to like manifesting the heart's desire, again, there are things that will be yours when you put effort towards it. Other things, maybe not so. But I also feel like there's an energy here of the key to this is, in a way, like manifesting, let's say, the heart's desire is to not force it. It's to fight for it, but not worry about how it's going to happen. Ten of Swords. Hangman. And see, this feels like an energy too of like knowing that, sometimes like you don't get everything that you want. Sometimes you don't. And that's okay. Maybe something else is meant for you. I also feel here there's like an energy of like when you pray for things or whatnot, be specific, yeah, but in a way like what's meant for you flows very naturally a lot of the times. And sometimes the things that you need to fight for, yeah, you get it. Sometimes you have to do that. You need to fight for what you want. I think more specifically, like when especially if it involves like a person, if it's like a matter of the heart, you may not get exactly who you want. And you need to be okay with that. It's more like, see, look at this, the Knight of Pentacles. This feels like an energy, though, of more like what it is that you want, less who. Especially when it comes to people, when if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. You can't like force or create love in someone, for your like feelings for you. Okay? Anything that's forced too much, especially like love like that, it generally never works. It never works out. I feel here it's like have the courage to go after what it is that you want, but if it's not meant for you, it's not meant for you. There will be something else meant for you. There's enough to go around for everybody. Always remember too, like I always like to say, rejection is God's redirection. Sometimes the rejection is leading you to where you need to be. Trust your intuition, but also the logic too. Maybe it's not the right time. But trust that should the time come, it will be yours. Let me see anything else that wants to come out. Yeah, that was a really interesting message, though, about like fighting for what you want. Yeah. Fight, but like, don't force. Careful, like, what you do. Especially when it comes to people. You wouldn't want to be forced. Not natural. Message of patience, the Four of Swords here. I feel here like an energy. Wow, the King of Pentacles. There's an energy here of like, when it comes to, I feel like if it's finances now, finances, I feel, now here's the manifester, would be the the King of Pentacles is right over here. This would be the Magician. This is like manifesting, money, these kinds of things. Money, though, money and that kind of abundance comes in many forms, right? Maybe you'll win a lottery ticket. Maybe, like when you need a little money, you may just hit a little of this. You may find something on the street. But money can also come in the form of an idea, of a job opportunity. So it's kind of like be patient, but then you got to know when to act on it. Just because it's not handed to you in a little bag, money or abundance, that kind of abundance can come to you in different ideas. But it's like sometimes you got to put work in, to it. Sometimes you'll be given not the cake, you'll be given the flour, the eggs, and so you got to make the batter, the butter. Sometimes you got to work with what's around you. Work with what's being given to you. Wow, there's the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. I feel like financial abundance is there to those who put the work in, but who also follow the guidance that they're receiving. And if something is not working out, see, there's the Five of Wands. It's like an energy of fighting, but knowing when to let it go. That may not be the best thing. Let's try something else. Funny how we're talking about work, money, and there's the work card, Three of Pentacles. It's kind of an energy, following your intuition, but using your logic. Okay, okay, what is working out? What isn't? Have like the knowledge to improve yourself, or the wisdom to know, okay, this is working, this isn't. Let me change this up. You know what? Maybe that I should drop altogether. All these kings and queens are coming out. And there's Judgment. And I feel like there's a big energy here of like your judgment, literally your judgment, is what will dictate your future. Some things are in your control, some things aren't. You have to be okay with that. But I feel like have faith that you'll always have what you need. Kind of like have the wisdom, or pray for ask for the wisdom to know when to fight and when not to. When to take a rest. When to wait for the right time. Both are important. Well, now there's a final message that I want to throw, and it feels like it has to do with relationships, people, what you surround yourself with. Now, you saw me shuffle that. Judgment. This is an energy here of having proper judgment in, those that you surround yourself with. There's the Emperor. Always remember, and there's the Ten of Swords. You know what it feels like is an energy. Let's say, there are people around, or just people in general, who are, who don't act right. They're not healthy energy. They're not good people. I think this is like an energy to kind of, or a time to declare to yourself, please give me, it's almost like, please give me the proper discernment and the courage maybe to allow certain people in my life and to not allow certain people in my life. It's like surround yourself with good, loving people. Remember, success is one of those words that I find a lot of people, depends on who's saying it, Success can mean, to some people, being rich. Success to other people can mean pay my bills. I have loving people around me, and I'm just fine. Success, I feel like it's an energy of, there, look at that. Seven of Pentacles. This is an energy of like someone, again, like whether you're rich or not rich. I think it's like, I know what I want to say. This is an energy of like not being afraid to get your hands dirty, but being grateful for all that you have, no matter what you have, and then that will allow for more to come. I also feel like, remember, money does not buy happiness. There are some rich people who are miserable, more miserable than you could imagine. But there are some rich people who are very happy and very grateful for all that they have. The same goes. There are some, maybe, let's say, poor people who are happy as can be. And then there are poor people who are as miserable as can be. Then there are people, who are neither rich nor poor. They're getting by. They're fine, right? Miserable, happy. So what is success? For me, it's like pay your bills, save up a little, and have some good, loving people around you. Be free. It's like be free, but not so free, if you know what I mean. Have proper judgment. Yes, you're free to do as you choose, but don't be stupid. Be carefree, but not so carefree. Maintain balance. Always, I feel, between like what you feel and but also what makes sense, logic. But too much of either can sometimes guide us down a crazy path. Now, I feel like when it comes to certain people, the final message, this is clear to me, it's an energy of when it comes to certain types of energy, certain types of people, always remember that you're in charge. I don't care, no matter how much you love someone or have feelings or something, especially like, let's say it's like when it comes to the dating game or friends, these kinds of things, right? I feel it more though as like the romantic world, okay? When you're meeting people, have proper judgment. You're better off single than with somebody who is not in a good energy. But always remember that you have the choice to stay or go. Now, in terms of like, let's say it's someone who you have more of a history with, right? And there are some issues, right? Now, everybody's situation is different. Sometimes things can be worked out. Other times, they really can't be. It just depends on your situation. Sometimes the first option, shouldn't be like, okay, let's just divorce, let's just set it up, right? Other times, though, depends on what it is. Sometimes it has to be. I feel like in terms of relationships, it's like an energy of both people have to be committed to doing the right thing being there for one another. Otherwise, it falls apart. But it's really based on the individual. And I feel like when both people are in balance, that's when relationships thrive. It can't just be one and the other. And again, people are going to go through things, right? But it's a matter of, okay, one helps the other through it. And then that's how we stay in balance. Justice. What I feel here is especially, it's like know who to cut off and who to not. Or know when to cut someone off. And who to give, like a chance. Maybe also it's like what to ignore, what to not ignore. Maybe some things don't require a reaction from you. Maybe it does. But going back to, like what I said before, about like criticism and stuff, our best friends, like people who really look out for you, even like, for some of you, right, it could be, mom, dad, depending on whoever it is that, really loves you and gives you that advice, right? They're the ones I feel that will keep you in check when you need it. I feel like communication is very important. I feel like going for maybe from like this time forward, what you want is, if let's say like if it's love that you're looking for, you want a man or a woman a person who knows how to communicate effectively. You want an adult. And with the world here, I feel this is, and especially with judgment above, it's your judgment calls are what's going to bring you this. Right? Sometimes you got to reject something in order to get to the right one. What a beautiful energy in this in the sun. This is the truth. And I really feel like the truth is what is needed in your life and all of our life. Truth. You need people who speak it to you. But you need to speak it as well. Feel a lot of things being illuminated, but remember, a lot of things can be illuminated through your intuition too. Going back to the beginning of the reading, some things you don't need anybody to tell you, you just know. And you also don't need the validation from them, whether they believe you or not. Okay, well, I don't need you to, it's not needed. I can tell you how many times, just doing what I do, I've said this one is this, and this. Nobody believed me. I didn't care. 1 year later, how'd you know that? Because I know. I felt it. I feel it. All right, so that's what I feel. I hope this was interesting for you. I hope that it resonated with you. I gave you some food for thought, and I'm sending you all much love. Let me get a final card. I feel like I want to go down. This is one of my more spiritual debt. Let me go down here. Final message, please, dear God, dear universe. It's the, wait, there were a few on the bottom. This is correct. Tree of Souls, collective wisdom, kinship group, library. This for me, it's more than energy, like of the truth, but of criticism, this and that. In other words, we can learn from one another if we have the wisdom to do so, but the intuition to do so and the logic to do so. But that we also need to be humble. You have to learn from others' experiences. You may think you know it all, but you don't. Others have different experiences, different knowledge than you do. You can pull from that lovingly. You're never alone. There's always somebody who's gone what you've gone. There are 8 billion people in this world. May not be exactly, but there's always somebody who knows maybe how you feel. And who can also answer some of your questions. Some things, though, you will answer yourself. But I feel like knowing that we're all kind of connected, and speaking of that collective wisdom, it's almost like, when one person learns something, the collective learns something. And the more people that do, that's what raises the knowledge of the world, of our collective. Now, funny, the secret, the unknown, mysteries, wonders. Remember, there are things that you can't see with your 2 eyes, that can't be felt, like this pine cone, like this mug. There are some things that you can only see through your intuition, that you can feel. And there are things that you need to let go of logic in order to understand, to see. Now we also have the Aurora Garden. This is a beautiful energy. This is about beginnings, initiate beginnings. It's kind of like, for intuition, you have to let go of logic. Just trust in what you feel. And to someone logical, that won't make sense. Same as but if you're too intuitive, right? Like, to somebody who's intuitive, being logical won't make sense. That's what you have to know. You got to balance it. You got to know when to be logical, when to be intuitive. Use both wisely, in tandem. Now also, here's the Temple of Sacred Dreams, or Temple of Dreams. Sacred dreams, prophecies, dream journeys. The whole world out there, energetically, that really are accessible, sometimes only through your dreams. Use it wisely. And look at that, the green man on the bottom of the deck. Rising, energy surge, fertility. For me, this is like an energy of I feel this is like being content that you know a lot of things, but you also know nothing in a way. Like there's always something to learn, or always something that somebody else may know better than you or know more than you. So it's but being confident, but also being humble in the fact that there's maybe more for you to learn. But letting it come to you when the time is right. But like, be okay with the fact that there's probably somebody out there maybe who's more knowledgeable than you on something, or because, but then you're also more knowledgeable about something, you know? But take wisdom in that. Wisdom, wisdom. You have to humble yourself. A lot of the time, it's not all about you. Remember the collective. That's why, too, you know, remember, like, when you help someone, when one person learns something, you've done something. Never underestimate that. The power of planting a seed. All right, so I hope this helped. I'm sending you all so much love. And I will see you guys soon, all right? Bye-bye now.